welcome to the Adelaide Cottage podcast. My name is Shauna, and you can find me on Instagram, Ravelry, and Facebook as Adelaide Cottage, and you can also find our hand-dyed yarns at AdelaideCottageYarns.com. Everything that I talk about today will be linked below in the description section, and yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been quite a while. For a while I was doing weekly podcasts, and for those of you who don't know and are new here, this is a knitting and spinning and sometimes other crafty endeavors podcast. But thank you to, I had about a handful of people send me messages to make sure that everything was okay because, like I said, it's been about a month since my last episode, so I'm fine, my family is fine, we're all so happy and enjoying each other, just wrapping up the end of a school year. I'm very active in our school's PTO, so in the classrooms I'm room mom for both of my boys, so we've just been having parties and just kind of busy with that. So I'll talk more about that life stuff later on if you're interested. First, I'm going to show you my finished objects for knitting. I have a pottery item to show you. I have a weaving finished object to show you. What else do I have? I have a giveaway winner to announce for fiber. I have a new knitting pattern giveaway to announce. There's a lot to talk about. I have some spinning to show you, stash enhancements, happy mail packages that I received, and chatter and a shop update. So this is going to be a longer than normal episode. So thank you for sticking with me if you choose to. I'm going to try to remember to do timestamps. We'll see if it works. But for those of you who are just joining in, again, my name is Shauna, and I'm recording from a suburb of Buffalo, New York, where I was born and raised. I live with my husband, Jason, and our 2 boys and our 2 cats. So it is almost spring here in Western New York, and it feels so good. Right now I have the windows open. I have a window right next to me here, so you might hear a mixture of birds chirping, which is one of my favorite sounds ever, lawnmowers mowing, and dogs barking. So yeah, today I am drinking some espresso out of a vintage teacup. I have been collecting teacups for about 6 years, I think. My husband, Jason, and I love to go to estate sales. And what's nice about his work schedule, he is a retail pharmacist, and he manages the pharmacy that he works at. So he gets to pick his schedule, which is really nice. But retail, it can be a yucky schedule, even though he gets to pick it. Certain days during the week, he works really long 13-hour days, which allows him to have more days off during the week. So it's bittersweet. He has more days off, but also he works a lot of evenings when the boys are home. So anyways, Fridays are usually our estate sale days where we spend the morning together. Sometimes we'll go out for breakfast and coffee, and then we'll go to an estate sale or 2, and then just hang out. And he even heads straight for the teacup section. Usually in estate sales, a lot of the time they're elderly people or couples who have passed away, and they have these sales in their homes to sell their things. So usually there are old teacups, and they're usually very, I don't want to say they're cheap, they're inexpensive. So I have so many, and I decided that I really want to start using them again. I have them all on display in our dining room and our china cabinet, but I really would love to use them. And I also have a set from my grandparents who passed away. My grandfather passed away when I was like 3 months old, and my grandma passed away when I was 16 or 18, I don't remember. But anyway, I think they would really love for me to actually use them. So you might be seeing more teacups. But I picked this one today because of all of the spring blooms on it and the tree. I just thought it was really pretty. So, okay, some administration. we have an Advent Mini Skein SWAP sign up section in our Ravelry group. So like I said, everything I talk about today will be linked below. If you're interested in the Advent Mini Skein SWAP, it's just an opportunity for you to swap with another person. You have the option of doing 25 minis only, or also adding a full skein of yarn for Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, and an option of adding additional goodies for your partner. So I'm keeping those signups open through the summer, and then late summer, early fall, I'll organize partners and send everyone an email. So you definitely have time to sign up. They're 10-gram mini skeins. I just ask that they're all fingering weight and that you include the colorway and the dyer as best as you can. So yeah, that's really exciting. We have quite a few people signed up. This is the first year, and I think the last 2 years I offered mini skein advent calendars in our shop, but this year I'm not dyeing those. So like I mentioned in a podcast before this, if you're an indie dyer and you're offering advent calendars, please feel free to leave that in the comment section below, so that anyone who is looking for an indie dyer who is dyeing up advent calendars this year, they can see that. Okay, so let me get on to some knitting, and then we'll talk giveaways and stuff like that later on. So the first thing that I have are my Galaxy socks. So this is our Galaxy colorway, Adelaide Cottage Yarns, and this is what's left of the ball. And I used a contrasting neon pink mini skein. So this was a 20-gram mini, and I used 10 grams to do the heels and toes. And I dropped it, so the cat's gonna have a field day with that one. So here they are, and they're bigger than my foot. These are a gift for a friend who has feet that are bigger than mine, so I knit them a bit larger. So what I did was, I usually do about 17 rows of 2x2 rib, and then I knit 100 rows and then inserted an afterthought heel in the pink. So just a plain stockinette sock, but this was knit out of, like I said, our Galaxy colorway, which I really love knitting with. It has pops of hot pink. This is kind of reading brown on because of the lighting, but it's purple, and some orange specks, neon orange. So yeah, these were so much fun. I'm going to block them and then send them off to their lucky recipient. What else can I say about this? Not much to say. So that was my knitting finished object. You'd think I'd have more done because I have been gone for so long, but I don't. Okay, so the next work in progress that I have knitting related is my Painted Windows shawl by Casa Pinka. I don't have that much more done on it since I spoke with you last. I marked where I was when I last podcasted, and I was right there, and this is all I have knit. So I inserted one more window, and that is it. I just haven't, when I wanted to knit, I was working on my socks, and I've been doing a lot of weaving and pottery. I just wasn't feeling this, but now that I take it out of the bag, I really want to pick it up again and get it finished for those chilly camping days that we have upcoming. And yeah, So the yarn that I'm using is Mint Rain yarn, and this colorway is called Protego Maxima. It's really pretty. And then I'm also using hedgehog fibers in Fool's Gold and some other random mini skeins. So it's a really, it's kind of mindless project actually. I don't know why I'm not knitting on it more. But I will be picking that up again very soon. This bag I'll show you next time. The other thing I've been wanting to work on a lot lately is a new project. It's a new, or my first, I should say, my first successful mitered square blanket. And I love it so far. I wasn't sure, I tried to make one a couple times already and my gauge was off, or I messed up a square and it was in the wrong direction. But this is what it looks like so far. I have 4 squares done, and I wasn't sure what size needle to use. For socks, for instance, I use a US size 0 2mm needle. And in the last blanket that I tried to make, I think I used a US 2.5. And that gauge was just way too loose. So I ended up gifting that to my niece for her baby dolls, and then I gifted the second one to my son for his little boy doll that he has. So this one, this one's gonna be a success. I'm determined. And I only want to use yarns that either people give me that were special to them, or projects that I knit for myself or people that I love. So yeah. So let's see. This is Adelaide Cottage Yarns in the mermaid colorway, and I knit a baby cardigan out of this for my niece Charlotte. This is Adelaide Cottage Yarns in oh my gosh. I'm going to insert it below because I can't think of it. It's at the tip of my tongue. I knit socks out of this colorway. I haven't dyed it in a really long time. This is hedgerow fibers, hedgerow yarns in the Twinkly Lights colorway. I knit socks out of that. And this is Madeline Tosh, and don't remember the colorway name, but I knit this cardigan out of it. The next color I'm putting in is this this yarn that I just finished a pair of socks with. It is Desert Vista Dye Works in the If They Kill Maggie colorway. And then once I'm done with my square, I will break this up and just put it in my basket of mini skeins to swap with people or give to them. And then I also have to add this opal yarn that I knit my husband Jason socks out of. And what else do I have in here that I can use? I have a few. I have this Patton's Croy sock yarn. I knit my husband's socks out of this as well. And this is one of the rag shades. I actually bought, it's called Blue Striped Rag. I actually bought 2 more balls of this because I loved knitting with it so much. I'm thinking of making socks for my boys with it. Now that I have socks off of the needles, I want to cast on a new pair, and I want to make a pair for my father-in-law for Father's Day. He, his mother knit a lot, and He learned how when he was younger, and he's just always been so supportive of my knitting. Whenever I'm knitting, he always, you know, comes by and asks what I'm making, and he knows all about the knit and the purl stitch, and he's just so cute. And I was thinking of knitting him socks with this yarn, Baracco socks. It's a 75% superwash wool and 25% nylon. And the color is 1494. How much do I have in here? 3.5 ounces, 440 yards. So I'm thinking of doing that. I was thinking of this too, because I have 2 balls of this Patton's Croix in the gray brown marl color, but I think that he might like these a little bit better. What do you think? Let me know in the comments what you think for him. I think he would like both, but I can't knit both right now. It was funny because when I knit this pair of socks for my husband Jason, I didn't think I minded stripes that didn't match, and he's a very symmetrical person. Even when we built our house, he wanted it to be basically colonial style, no extra peaks and valleys, and just the same amount of windows on each side of our door. You know what I mean? Like, that's just the way he is. So I don't know why I didn't think it would or why I thought it wouldn't bother him, because when did I knit these for him? I think I gave them to him for his birthday in October last year. And he just came up to me the other day. He had them on and he's like, I feel really bad saying this, but I don't want you to knit me another pair of socks and me feel this way about them. He's like, I love them. And he does. He wears them all the time. But he's like, it drives me nuts when I look down at my feet and the stripes don't match. Oh my gosh. So the truth comes out, right? I'm like, don't worry about it. It's fine. The next pair I knit, I will make sure that they match, because they don't match at all. I should have brought them down here to show you, but nothing matches. The top doesn't match, the toes don't match, the heels don't match. And he's like, every time I put my feet together, it drives me nuts. It was so cute. So next time I have to make sure that they match for him. So I really want to cast on a new pair for him and my father-in-law, but I know that if I do 2 different socks, they won't get finished. So I'm going to do my father-in-law's first, because I mentioned to him that I would like to knit him a pair of socks, and then I'll do a pair for Jason. So let's see. I'm going to talk about my teapot. Now, last time I showed you my first teapot that I made. It had a bamboo handle on it, and this one is a little bit bigger and it has a handmade handle on it. So I won't talk about it too long because I went into depth quite a bit last time. But this is how it looks. And I just twisted the clay just to give it some texture. And then I signed the bottom and put the date, the year. I love pottery so much, and my new wish is to have a little pottery studio in our garage with my own pottery wheel and a kiln, so that I can throw whenever I want to. Right now I go to pottery on Tuesdays and it's only for a couple of hours. I want to be doing more of it. We already have a ton of shelving out there that I can put my work. It's just really fun and relaxing. So it's expensive though, so we'll see. I will talk about my weaving. I have a finished object to share with you, and that is my scarf. So this was woven with, I had to think of the right way to say that. This was woven with my own hand-dyed yarns. This colorway is Dolores Umbridge, which is one of our Harry Potter colorways. And the one down here is a Gilmore Girls inspired colorway called Dragonfly Inn. And I used a clasped weft technique, which I had to look up a tutorial on YouTube, but it was very simple. I warped my loom 78 inches, I believe, and I think I could have made it a little bit longer, because when I put this on, it is not, I don't want to wear it like a shawl. I guess I can put it this way. I can wear it like this just fine, and it goes down fine. So that's probably how I'll wear it. But when I kind of wrap it around my neck, do you see how it doesn't go around? Do you know what I mean? I probably sound like a crazy person. But it looks really pretty, I think, worn like a shawl or just around my neck like this. And I can just put it like in my coat. So yeah, I love it. And then I used the Ashford fringe twister to twist the fringe, which was really cool. So this is all fingering weight yarn. I used the 12.5 50/10. Is this called a shuttle? I still need to learn the lingo. But I didn't fill it all the way. I think I left 10 empty holes on both sides and then warped in the middle. And this was really, really fun to do as well. This is the yarn. This is the Dolores Umbridge colorway. We have this in the shop right now on DK, and we will be dyeing more and fingering. It's a really pretty tonal taupe color with really dark gray, almost black speckles, hot pink, not hot pink, but like a really bright, pretty pink speckle. And this one's on Gold Stellina. And this is the Dragonfly Inn. So I used a full skein of this, which is 430 something yards, plus a little bit more, probably a quarter more. I have to weigh this because I use this to warp and then to do, then to come across it as well. And then I used about half a skein of the Dragonfly Inn. So yeah, that was really fun, and I really love the way this turned out. I would really love to, and what made this really special, before I forget to mention, was I was having a really nice day weaving this. I had my coffee next to me. I was listening to some really soft, just instrumental music. I had a candle lit. I was taking breaks to play board games with the boys and Jason, and everybody was home and just being cozy. They were watching a movie in between. It was just a really nice day. And I was weaving, and then I'd take a break to cook lunch, and then I would weave, take a break to cook dinner, and I would weave. And then Jason came in, and he seemed really interested in what I was doing and asked how I do it. So he watched me, and then he asked if he can weave a couple of rows. So he did, and then the boys saw him do it and wanted to come and try it. So both Aiden and Evan and my husband Jason wove at least a row of this. So that's really special. Now what was I saying before I digressed? Oh, so when I took this off the loom, I'm like, oh my goodness, I made fabric. Like when you knit or crochet, you're making fabric, but this is really tightly woven fabric. And I thought it would be really cool to weave fabric that I then make something out of, whether it be a project bag, or that's really all I can think of. A makeup pouch or a notions pouch. I thought that would be really nice. So I think I'm going to do that next time. Because then I'll have a bag that I truly handmade. I would have dyed the yarn, wove with it, and then sewed with it. And I think that would be really special. What would be extra special is if I spun fiber that I dyed, then wove with it, and then sewed with it. Hand spun takes a really long time though, so I don't know. But yeah, I really, really love this. I love the way that it turned out, and I'm looking forward to warping my loom for my next project, which I don't know what it will be. I might, like I said, leave something to sew with, so we'll see. But this just has like such subtle gold stellina sparkle. I love it. Okay, I need a sip of my coffee and then gather my thoughts, and then I'll be right with you. I've been rewatching Gilmore Girls from season 1, episode 1 again, and loving it. I was working on my cozy memories blanket while I was rewatching, and I'm just loving it all over again. So fangirling with my t-shirt. And my husband and I have been obsessing over Game of Thrones. So there have been some Game of Thrones colorways added to the shop, and I'm going to continue them. I toyed with doing a club. I'm still not really sure yet. I kind of love the idea of just adding really fun new colorways to the shop as we go. So, okay, let me talk about my spinning quickly, because there's not much. If I can find my bobbin, it fell on the floor. Hold on. Okay, so here is the fiber I've been spinning. I'm almost done. I only have a section like that long to go, and then I'll be finished and I can ply the 2 bobbins together. But this is the first bobbin that is off the wheel. It looks all green now, but you guys know what it looks like. I've shown the fiber in the last podcast, as well as my bobbin as I was moving forward. So this is 100% Targhee. So yeah, I'm really excited to ply this. Now that I'm holding it, I want to spin. I want to be spinning on my wheel. There's not enough time in the day to do all of the crafty things. Why not? So that's my spinning. But another exciting thing I wanted to show or share with you is whenever I dye fiber for myself to spin with, because I already have all of the dyes to dye yarn, I'm dyeing a few for the shop. So if that's something that you would be interested in, you can head over to the shop and have a look. But I dyed these braids. This is the Sugar Rush colorway, and I'm going to be spinning this next. Lots of fun, bright, pretty colors. And this is BFL and Sea Cell, which Sea Cell is an all natural fiber, and it's beautiful. It gives it this really pretty, I don't know if you can see it with the sun, but it's really pretty sheen. I love it so much. So those are in the shop, and this one is in the shop. This is 100% combed BFL. I showed this before, I believe. I was just playing with the dyes with this one. But this is kind of more of a purple, and it's coming up. It's purple right here. But yeah, it's fun. And I have some bare fiber in the our new dye space that I still need to dye up, so there will be more coming soon. Okay, so speaking of fiber, the giveaway quickly. This is by Kingdom Fleece Fiber Works, and she very generously donated this combed, pin drafted comb top. It's all Falkland, 4 ounces. It's beautiful. She sent one for me and one for the podcast. And like I said, the prompt to answer was, what is your favorite type of fiber to spin? And I did the random YouTube comment generator, and the winner is Linda Willer. So congratulations, Linda. Contact me via the email address that's in the down bar with your full address, and then I'll send this out to you. But her favorite happened to be Falkland, so that's perfect. So congratulations, Linda. Okay, so we have, let me make sure I covered everything. Oh, the Bramble Way shawl that I showed a while back that I gifted to my sister-in-law. It's designed by Kate Fish, who is the designer behind Bramble Way Studios. The Bramble Way shawl is out now, and it's gorgeous, and she's hosting a knit-along for it. So I will link her designer page down below so that you can go have a look. But it's gorgeous. I loved knitting it. I definitely want to knit another one. It's knit out of a DK weight yarn. There are 2 size options to pick from, either a 2 skein or a 3 skein, and there's an option to add fringe or don't add fringe. So yeah, that is there. I think I covered everything except for my stash enhancement and some chatter about what's been going on, and then a shop update. So I'm going to cover stash enhancement because there's not much, I guess. I saw this beautiful yarn by Amy of Exterminate on Instagram was knitting with this, and I was like, what is that colorway, because I need it in my life. And she answered me, and it was Opal 676A, 2106 676A. So that info will be below as well, but I just thought it was so pretty with the purples and teals. This will be socks someday. Also, I knit a shawl for myself when my mom was in hospice care back in 2015. That was a year from HE double hockey sticks, but that's when I knit. Was that my first shawl? I think it was. It was the Windswept shawl by Molly of a Homespun House, and I knit it with Bijou Spun Himalayan Trail, which was what was recommended in the pattern. And it was, I forget the colorway name, but it was like a fuchsia color, and it was so pretty. And I really wanted to add it to my sock yarn blanket, my Cozy Memories blanket, but I don't have any more of it. So I went on Ravelry to see if anyone had it up for sale for destash, and I couldn't find anyone who had it for sale, which is a bummer. And I just found out that Bijou Basin is retiring, but I did find this color, which is a lot more purple. I don't know what the actual color name is, but the number is 42038 or 6. It's hard to tell. But this is super purple, but I don't know, I thought it would make a nice hat. I just really loved knitting with this base, and they discontinued this base. This is 75% yak down and 25% super fine merino, and I love knitting with it. So I got a skein of that. I think that's all that I purchased. I do have a Paradise Fibers Fiber of the Month Club box to show you, and I'll share that in just a second. I actually got the one for May in the mail, like right before I came in here to record, but I'm going to share that one next week because I don't want to show you 2 boxes in one episode. So I'm going to show you my friendship mail is what I'll call it, and then I'll show you the fiber box, and then I will share with you what's been going on, what's in the shop, and all of that fun stuff. So I did a swap with Heidi, who is, oh, I didn't write her Ravelry name, but she lives in Norway, and she's wonderful, and she's part of our Harry Potter blanket KAL knit along. And we decided to do a little swap, a mini skein swap. And she sent me all of these beautiful Harry Potter colorways, and I put them in this really pretty glass jar, and I have it in my craft room. So many pretties, and she has them all labeled, so that's really fun. And then she also included this beautiful Norwegian yarn. And it is, I don't want to mess this up, 100% wool from Norwegian. Let me read it to you while I'm holding it up. This is reading, it's definitely more of a cranberry. It's reading like a bright red because of the sun. 100% wool from Norwegian white sheep. And she says 2 skeins is more than enough for a pair of color work mittens. And it is so beautiful. Such a rustic feel. Roma. So pretty. It's beautiful. And then this gorgeous progress keeper, my goodness, with this like Norwegian design on it. She says this from Patricia, who is knitography. She takes the wood from her forest, and she has a workshop and a farm, and she makes these beautiful progress keepers. And she has a shop, I believe. So if you find knitography on Instagram, I'm sure you'll be able to find her shop, and I'll try to link it as well. But thank you so much, Heidi. It was such a pleasure. It came with a really sweet handwritten letter, and it was such a pleasure swapping with you. I also received a bag from Kate, who is the designer for the Bramble Way shawl. And I kept everything together so that I can share it with you. Not going to read what she wrote, but a beautiful letter in this really pretty knitting card, knit design. She went to the Edinburgh Yarn Festival and wanted to pick something up for me to say thank you for just being a friend to her, which just warmed my heart, and for test knitting her first shawl pattern. So she included, when she was at EYF, she picked up these beautiful mini skeins for me. And I'll show them to you. So these are by Walk hand-dyed yarns. So these are all mini skeins in beautiful colors. And these will be going into my Cozy Memories blanket because of the sentiment that she picked them out just for me at a time when you're so far away from home, and there's just so much to look at, and she was thinking of me, which is so special. So, and this is by Adelaide Cottage Yarns, and I'm excited to try all of these different, to me, dyers. And this is as well. It's a really fun one with glitter, sparkle. And then she also included some extra goodies. Some cranberry apple riot tea, which I've been dying to try these, but she put the steeping instructions on there. I've been dying to try these, but I wanted to keep everything together to show you. It smells so good. And then blackberry apple beetroot and ginger tea. My goodness, that sounds so good. And Sunday tea. There's a few of these. So sweet. So thank you, Kate. And definitely, if you guys love that pattern, please go ahead and purchase a copy for yourself and support Kate and cheer her on. Her pattern was so wonderfully written. I don't think I had to make any corrections except for like one minor thing, one or two. Very nicely written and such a pleasure to knit. So thank you again, Kate. The next thing I received is from Donna of the In a Pickle Knitting Podcast and Shop. I did a special order for her, and she sent me this as a thank you. She is such a sweet person. A beautiful card. Again, I love handwritten cards. I love cards so much. And I recommend her podcast and her bags and her yarn. I haven't knit with her yarn yet, but her colorways that I've seen are gorgeous. She doesn't dye yarn that often, but when she does, what she shows on her podcast is super pretty. But I own a few of her bags, and her craftsmanship is amazing. So she made this beautiful hand-sewn notions pouch for me, and she says the fabric is kind of like a sister fabric to the bag that was included, that I received in my advent calendar from my lovely friend Jules, who is so sweet violet. And it matches beautifully, so that's exciting. And she stuffed it with amazingness. Let me go ahead and show you. Oh, it smells so good. So there's this lavender hand balm. It's all organic by Heavenly Organic Skincare. And that's what I'm smelling, and it smells so good. I love the smell of lavender. It's all wrapped up still, but the smell is so amazing. This little measuring tape, pink one. She filled it with notions for my notions pouch, which are notions that I use all the time. These I'm always searching for. These darning needles to weave in my ends. A crochet hook for drop stitches. Donna, you thought of everything. Little snips. And this beautiful stitch marker that she made with her own hands. Let's see, is it? There we go. So thank you so much, Donna. I love this so much. And here's the inside fabric. Also beautiful. The next thing is some fiber that was sent from a friend of mine, and she hasn't quite opened up her shop yet, but she has Angora Bunnies, and I mentioned that I've never spun with Angora, and she wanted to send me some from her sweet little bunny. So how cute is that, first of all? adorable. Of course, a really cute letter. And the card that this came in, how cute is that? So pretty. So when her shop opens, if and when it does, I will be happy to share the information with you. But this is so soft. She asked what color I wanted, and I picked a cream because I think I'm going to keep this natural color. And as soon as I let my 5-year-old Evan feel it, he's like, Mom, can you please knit me a hat out of this? So, oh my gosh, and it smells so good. Whatever you use on this, my friend, amazing. It smells so good. So I'm excited to spin with that. I forgot to weigh it. She told me how much it weighs, and I forgot. But it's 100% Angora from her sweet little bunny, so thank you so much. I'm very excited to knit with that. Okay, so I did a little swap with Joanna of the Gnome Knitter. She makes really, really beautiful progress keepers, and she is providing me with her new fairy tale charm club for 2 months. So here is her business card. I'm sure you have heard of her because I own quite a few of her progress keepers. But this May's theme was the Little Mermaid, which is my favorite Disney princess. This is her, it's a fairy tale cupcake charm club. That's the little card that it came with. It came with a little little lobster progress keeper as well. This isn't the one, this isn't part of the club. It's just a little thank you. And it also had a Swedish fish to go with the ocean theme, but I don't know what happened to it. I love Swedish fish. It didn't last very long. And then it had this blue tissue paper for the water. And wait until you see this little cupcake that is supposed to mimic Ariel, the Little Mermaid. She knocked it out of the park. Let's see. Okay, so check out the cupcake wrapper because it looks just like her like fin flipper thing. I'm like at a loss for words. What do you call that thing? Her tail. It's all glittery, and then her the shells for her bathing suit top, and the frosting is the same color as her beautiful red hair, and then like a little hair clip. Oh my goodness, so perfect. I love it so much. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the next month is. So thank you so much, Joanna. You are so talented. I can't wait to play with that. Okay, I'm going to quickly show you the fiber of the month. This is the May box, which is a Game of Thrones inspired box, which I cannot wait to open. I haven't even opened it yet. It's right here next to me, but I'm going to show you that next week because I have to show you April still. So this is the April Fiber of the Month Club from Paradise Fibers, and their theme was living coral in the tropics and everything. So it came with this beautiful 4-ounce merino and pineapple fiber blend in the living coral colorway, and it's in this like netting bag that looks like sea. I don't know, it reminds me of like seashells and coral, I guess, actually. But it smells really good. I really need to get spinning. This is making me itch to spin. All this fiber that I'm playing with. Ugh, I love it so much. Look at how pretty that is. It's a really pretty coral color. And then the pineapple fiber is actually this white. And I didn't know that pineapple, you could spin from pineapple fiber. I didn't know pineapples had fiber. But they do. And this was quite a good deal because to buy pineapple fiber by itself is, you know, definitely more money than just buying a merino. And definitely get your value in this box because this is not all that it included. And the subscription is $34.99 US, and that includes shipping. So when you add everything up that you really get a good value. I'm not sponsored by them, just letting you know how much I love their boxes. I just dropped some yarn. I'm running out of space. This is 1 ounce of pineapple fiber top in a pineapple window box. So this is just plain pineapple fiber, which I can use on my blending board. And it is so soft. I love it. Then you get 2 ounces of merino wool top in the tanzanite colorway in a gold scallop printed bag. Here's that. They included this, a buttermint, which I actually already ate, and a darning needle. I'm sorry, a threading hook with a flower at the end, but I put that in my notions container. These soak washes, was this from the soak? The soak washes were from the previous month, but I'll show them to you again. I'm pretty sure, but they included a pineapple one, which was cool to go with the theme. I'll probably save it for this pineapple fiber. And the bag goes with the theme as well, and they included sequins, beads and sequins. Oh, here's the threading hook. I didn't put it away. So that you can make art yarn with it, but I was thinking to make some progress keepers with it. Here's the threading hook. And it came with a sheep sticker, really cute one in a coral color, and I already put that on my laptop. So here are the sequins, really pretty, and beads. So yeah, that's it for the April box. Definitely get more than what you pay, in my opinion. And I'm really happy with it. And I can't wait to open the Game of Thrones themed box this month. So like I said, I'll share that with you next time. Like I mentioned, excuse me for a second. I dropped some yarn. I've been adding some Game of Thrones colorways to the shop. I brought 2 of them up. So far we have Dracaris, which is a really pretty coral with some neon splashes in there. We have You Know Nothing Jon Snow. We have this new one, which is called Not Today, which if you watched last week's episode 3 of season 8, you will have known what I'm talking about. But this just reminded me of the ice and fire, I guess, scenes in that episode when Arya says to the Night, or she says she's going to say to the Night King, not today. So that's not spoiling anything, but it's really, really pretty, I think. I love the way this came out. So there's like a mulberry almost, deep purple. It's a very cool toned purple, and then some grayish blue, and then some speckles of brighter blue and pink. And this is available on multiple bases, including singles, Golden Twinkle, which is the gold stellina, breezy mohair. And then we have, from that same scene, brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. So this kind of has a mint background with lots of splashes of bright green, blue, and brown. And those are, I have these on various bases as well. Then I've been enjoying Anne with an E on Netflix. I watched all the episodes and I can't wait for more to come out. But we have two inspired by that. We have Spin the Bottle, which has been out for a little while. And we have Fiddlesticks, which Marilla says all the time, and I just think it's hilarious. This is a really bright, fun, summery color. Aurora Borealis. We have this on full skein and sock sets. Gilmore Girls themed, we have Laugh More on various bases. This one's really fun and colorful as well. And Talk More. We have Galaxy, which is the colorway that I knit those socks out of. And No More Sleeps, which is the Advent full skein in last year's Advent calendar that was included for Christmas morning. I got quite a few requests for it, so I decided to dye some more up. There are also more colorways in the shop, but those are just a few. And then I stocked up some Progress Keepers. I used to sell them and wanted to sell more. So whenever I find random cute charms or anything like that, I'll attach them to a lobster clasp and sell them as Progress Keepers for you guys to enjoy. I also made a few by hand with some beads and things, so I'll show those as we go. But here are flip-flops, a camper, and there are a few of each of these. A little pink fuzzy sheep, super cute. A watermelon, a teapot, ice cream, these tassels in multiple colors. This is a fuchsia, but it's coming out more pink or red. These flowers are available in multiple colors. And these three I made out of beads that I found at an estate sale. The flower was not from the estate sale, but the rest of the beads were. So there's a really pretty, bright, tropical flower with some beads. Here is kind of like a summery ocean color combo. And this one I really love because purple is my favorite color, and mauve. Some purple mauve beads. There's a floral bead right in the middle. So those are in the shop now. And that's it for shop update. So now I can chat with you. As if I haven't done enough of it. We're probably well over an hour now. Most exciting, which has been keeping me pretty busy, is we got chickens. It's something that I wanted for a really long time. They're not at our house because we're in a residential zone. Even though this is a right to farm community, you have to be in an agricultural zone to have any type of farm animal. So my really good friend who lives right down the street from us, like out of our development, lives on agricultural zone. She has a farm. She has an old a sort of farmhouse, and she has outbuildings, a barn, 2 barns, I think. So my husband kind of set up the inside to be a chicken coop. And the runs are going to be built later this month. So that's been super exciting. We got 5 hens and 1 rooster. And her husband recently passed away, and he really wanted to get chickens. And wanted to share that experience with me, because we were going to buy the house right next door to them. I don't know if you remember that. We were going to move and buy the house next door to them because it had more land. But we didn't end up doing that. And he said before he passed away that he would really love if she got chickens, you know, for us to share and for our families to enjoy. So it's been super fun raising them from little chicks. They came here for a little while. When it got too cold at night, we kept them in our finished basement area, and now they're in their new coop. My husband did such a good job putting, you know, a wall up and some chicken wire, and we hung twinkly lights in there, and it's super fun. So he has also been, we just went to get flowers to plant all around the house, and he built raised beds for me. I have issues with my health, with my neck and my knees, so I can't bend down on the ground and hover over a garden. So the bed is actually, like, the level of it probably comes up to, I don't know, the bottom of my rib cage, and it's on wheels. So he made 1 so far, and he's going to make 1 or 2 more. 1 for vegetables, or probably 2 for vegetables and 1 for herbs. And we're going to keep at least 2 of them on our patio. That should be, the cement should be poured soon. We're just waiting for a nice streak of 3 or 4 days without any rain. So that's really exciting, doing that together. He loves woodworking. It is a hobby of his, just like knitting is for me. He's a pharmacist by day, and he's a carpenter, I guess, by night, or woodworker. He built this L-shaped workspace that I'm sitting at. He built the shelving that's above. It runs all the way down this wall. He built my fabric cutting table that's over there, and it has shelves and drawers on it. He built a different cabinet that's in front of me to hold craft supplies, and he built the entire dye space downstairs. He's done a lot, and I love that. It makes our home feel even more special that he made this furniture with his own hands. There's a bookcase in our front room that he made, and it's just super special. I love that. The other exciting thing is we're taking a cross-country camping trip in August. It's going to be about 12 or 13 days. I brought the little map over because I printed this out for the boys to look at, because they're really excited and they want to mark off every state that, make sure we're not blurry, every state that we drive through, so they can say they've been there, because we would love to stop in every state and either try their food or get a little souvenir or take a picture near their state sign or something like that. So my husband is a veteran, Army National Guard, and he trained out in Arizona but never got the chance to visit the Grand Canyon. So he has wanted to take us there for quite some time. And camping is our favorite thing to do as a family. We do it all summer long, any chance we get. We got a new camper last year. We upgraded to something a bit bigger, and usually that's me saying, "Hun, let's take a crazy cross-country trip," and he looks at me like I have 3 heads. But this was his idea, and it made me super happy. I'm a free spirit. He calls me, what does he call me? Whimsical. And he's more of the level-headed, like, calm down. But this was him, and I was like, of course I was right on board, and printed out maps and got the kids excited, and we have it all plotted out. We just need to figure out exactly what where we're staying. So let me explain. So we live here in New York, Western New York, right near Lake Erie. So we're gonna travel, let's see, where am I? Up. On the way there, we're gonna stop in Iowa and stay the night to rest, and then go to Wyoming to stay in Yellowstone National Park for 2 nights. Then we're gonna come down to Arizona and stay at the Grand Canyon for 2 nights, and then go up to Colorado and stay in the Rocky Mountains for 2 nights. And then we'll head back this way and either stay, where are we? Either stay in Missouri or Illinois overnight to rest, and then back home again. So I'm super excited. The boys are excited. I ordered them a little journal from Shutterfly because I ordered something special for my mother-in-law for Mother's Day, a photo gift, and I had to spend a certain amount to get free shipping. So I added 2 journals that have like travel things on, like cameras and campers and stuff. And I put a picture of our camper in the center, and then put our family cross-country camping trip 2019. So the boys can kind of journal or insert pictures or draw pictures or whatever they want to do as we travel. And then they each have their own little map where they can check off all the states that we stop in. And I plan to take a picture in each state if we stop. And I have this little photo printer that prints like photo stickers from my phone that we can just plop them right in their journal. If any of you have any recommendations for yarn shops in our travels, more specifically while we have more time in Wyoming, Arizona, or Colorado, but of course any of those states along midline United States, let me know. I would love to stop at a few yarn shops, and I plan to vlog the whole experience and share it with you. So I hope that's something you're interested in. I'm going to bring my tripod and my camera and podcast while we're in the parks, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities for my husband and the boys to go on hikes, and that's not something I'm able to do. So I will stay back. I plan to bring my spinning wheel, so I'll spin, I'll record little video logs, and just share that whole experience with you. So I'm super excited. It will be so nice to have my whole family together doing this, because how often will this happen? Eventually, my oldest is 11 turning 12, and eventually he's not going to want to go across the country with his parents for that long and be in a car with his little brother for 80 hours. So I don't know, maybe he will. He has told us many times that camping with his family is his favorite thing to do, both of them. So we're really excited. Those are the 2 main things that I had to talk about. Yeah, that's it. I think I have covered everything. It's a super long episode. I'm so sorry. I have quite a bit of time before the boys get home from school. They both joined, that's another thing, they both joined Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. My youngest is a Cub Scout, my oldest is a Boy Scout, and they both have meetings every Monday evening. So today is Monday, the first Monday of May. I don't know what day it is, the 7th, maybe 6th? It beats me. But I am going to dye some yarn, and that's it. Prepare dinner. That's all I really have going on until they get home and we have to go to the meeting. So it was so nice catching up with you all today. Please feel free to comment below and we can chat. I look forward to chatting with you again, hopefully next week. And until then, I hope you're all well and happy. Talk to you later. Bye.